We have just 3 days left. Social Security is on the line, and there needs to be some major changes in the next 3 days. Now, I'm going to be covering all the details, and this does include the debt ceiling, but that is not it. Wait till you see some of the negotiations taking place. Now, 2023, we have heard, is going to be a big year for Social Security. As you know, we're hearing the solvency is going to be running out sooner than they expected. Last year, the COLA increase to keep up with inflation fell short every single month, and people are wondering, what are they going to be doing to enhance and help out those who need these benefits, enhance the system, reform everything, make changes? Wait till you see what is coming up right now, you guys. Now, let's take a look at the headlines really quickly. Now, as I mentioned, why the debt ceiling debate puts Social Security on the line, how it could play out. This just came out this morning. Here's another one. Treasury Secretary says U.S. to hit the debt limit January 19th, setting up a showdown with the GOP, and wait till you hear the negotiations taking place. Sounds like there's going to be some big changes that could be coming for Social Security. Now, also, here's the letter released just 3 days ago from U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warning that we have got to address this and soon. And a lot of people are wondering, we can't even keep up with inflation. What about that bill that was promised of $2,400 to go out to all recipients? I'm going to cover for you the status of that, you guys. And here is the actual official bill from congress.gov so you can see it for yourself. Came out in 2022. They're saying this is going to come back, but wait till you see the news coming out. This is definitely going to be mixing things up, you guys. And also be sure to stick around to the end to see 7 things that are reforming right now in 2023 that are taking place that is going to be changing for Social Security. So let's dive right in, get you caught up on the latest so you know what's happening and what's available for you and your family. And if you appreciate that, smash the like button for me very quickly before we dive in. Hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. And with that being said, though, let's go ahead and take a look at these articles and what's happening right now with Social Security. All right, so this article just came out this morning, and as always, this is linked in the description below. I cite all my sources, put them on the screen, read right from them so you can see for yourself that this is the latest. Now, I'm going to cover this first one about the debt ceiling. Then we're going to be discussing some of the negotiations that are taking place that might be shocking to you. And also, we're going to take a look at that official letter so you can see it for yourself from the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, addressed to Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, saying, we have got to address this in the next 3 days. All right, so first up, why the debt ceiling debate puts Social Security on the line and how it could play out. Well, Social Security is starting 2023 in the political crosshairs over proposals to raise the retirement age to help stabilize the program's finances. So that's one of the proposed modifications, increasing the age limit. Now, another battle is brewing over whether to cut Social Security funding in exchange for an increase in the federal debt ceiling, which the U.S. will hit by Thursday, January the 19th, not the 16th. That is a typo. Congress will need to raise the debt ceiling to prevent the United States from defaulting on its financial obligations. This isn't unusual. Since 1960, Congress has acted 78 different times to permanently raise, temporarily extend, or revise the definition of the debt ceiling, or the debt limit, according to the U.S. Department of Treasury. The ceiling was last raised in December of 2021 to $31.381 trillion, according to the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. The $2.5 trillion increase approved was expected to last until at least July of 2023. Instead, 3 days ago, on January 13th, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen penned a letter to Congress writing, "We'll need to start taking certain extraordinary measures to prevent the United States from defaulting on its obligations. The problem this time is that key Republicans have hinted that they will not support a higher debt ceiling unless the plan includes spending cuts to Social Security and Medicare." That is right. So they're saying that there needs to be revision and cuts to those programs, and they're saying that if they do not do that, they're willing to not raise the debt ceiling, and that could be very devastating for our economy. Now, I'm going to get into the details a little bit more here in just a second. They point to data showing that the Federal Old Age and Survivor Insurance Trust Fund, which pays retirement benefits, will become depleted in 2034. After that, as Go Banking Rate has previously reported, payroll taxes will only cover about 78% of retirement benefits. So we have a solvency issue here. Within the coming years, they're not going to be able to pay out the full amounts to Social Security recipients. In an option column for The Hill in November, Nancy Altman, co-director of Social Security Works, wrote every Republican who is in contention with the lead of the House Budget Committees and told Bloomberg that they plan to demand Social Security and Medicare cuts in return for raising the debt limit. If so, they are likely to get plenty of pushback from Democrats and other Social Security advocates. As Altman noted, similar moves by Republican leaders to cut Social Security and Medicare in both 2011 and 2013 fell short due to massive grassroots opposition. Altman was among those who wanted Democrats to lift the debt ceiling during the current lame duck Congress while they were still in control of the House. So they're saying that unless they're willing to do cuts to that, well, they're not going to be increasing that debt limit. Now, take a look, you guys. Treasury Secretary says U.S. to hit the debt limit January 19th, setting up for a showdown with the GOP. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told congressional leaders Friday that the U.S. would hit its debt limit next week. So this was last week. She said, we've got about a week left, setting up a showdown between the White House and House Republicans who have vowed to tie any increase in the debt ceiling to spending cuts. The nation will reach its $31.4 trillion borrowing limit on January 19th, Yellen said in a letter, adding that Treasury Department will begin implementing so-called extraordinary measures to manage the government's cash flow if lawmakers don't act to raise it. Now, if the debt ceiling isn't raised and the government goes into default, essentially unable to pass its bills, it could be disastrous for the American economy and global financial markets. Seniors could stop receiving Social Security payments. U.S. military service members could stop receiving paychecks. Public health funding could stop, and the nation's creditworthiness could be downgraded, spiking interest rates, which would raise mortgages, cars, and credit card payments. So pretty much however you slice it, this is not looking good for Social Security. If they cannot come to an agreement, this is going to be impacting a variety of different provisions that are available to Americans. But if they do come to an agreement, it could mean that there needs to be cuts made to the funding, and well, reform already needs to be made. So we will see what that's going to be doing to Social Security and these other provisions. Now take a look. Here is the official press release from White House Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. She sent this letter to the congressional leader, Kevin McCarthy, Speaker of the House, regarding the debt limit. This was January 13th, and it says, Dear Mr. Speaker, Public Law 11773 increased the statutory debt limit to approximately $31.381 trillion on December 16th of 2021. As you know, the debt limit is the total amount of money that the United States government is authorized to borrow to meet its existing legal obligations, including Social Security and Medicare benefits, military salaries, interest on the national debt, tax refunds, and other payments. I am writing to inform you that beginning on Thursday, January 19th, 2023, the outstanding debt of the United States is projected to reach its statutory limit. Once the limit is reached, Treasury will need to start taking certain extraordinary measures to prevent the United States from defaulting on its obligations. So they need to come to an agreement on this. There needs to be reform to the entire system. And what's very difficult and sad as well is the fact that those receiving the benefits last year, due to inflation, the COLA increases did not keep up. So those receiving it, they're not able to just keep up with the cost of living. But in addition to that, we're hearing that the solvency is going to be running out. So they need to make modifications to the benefits that go out, to the way that it's set up, an assortment of different things. Just there needs to be major reform. And we're hearing 2023, Social Security is going to be a major issue that congressional leaders are going to be discussing as we progress forward. Now, also, take a look at this. As you guys know, one of the bills that has been proposed is the Social Security Expansion Act. And this one is one that says Social Security recipients everywhere, they need at least another $2,400 annually or a $200 per month paycheck to keep up with things. And that it's just falling short every single time. Now, here's the actual bill, as I mentioned, that was released. I'll link this in the description for you down below. This is from congress.gov, where you can see the official press release of the bill and everything that's included to extend the solvency, change the way that they calculate the COLA increases with CPIE instead of CPIW, modifications to taxes. There's an assortment of different things in here to reform Social Security. Now, we will see what unfolds with this. I will keep you guys up to date. Now, in the coming days, there's likely going to be a lot happening with this because, like I said, they've only got 3 days to address this issue. Now, also, there are major changes taking place right now to Social Security. I've covered 7 of them that are going to be implemented here that you will be seeing in Social Security. And these are passed and done and taking place. Now, if you want to get more information on these ones that have been signed into law, check out this video right here as I cover it in detail for you in my last video. And I also did a live on this for you guys as well. But in this video, I actually show the articles, link them in the description so you can see them and know the latest. But with that being said, you guys, I'll be sure to keep you up to date as more things happen with Social Security. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you made it this far and haven't already, don't forget, smash the like button, hit subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? And I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.